All right, let's talk. Speaking of Elon Musk, let's talk about the stimmies. They're back. Is it stimmies or stymies? Stimmies, right?
Stimmies.
Stimmies. They're back. What are you cocking your head for, Charles?
It wouldn't be called a stimulus check. So what do you think it's called?
People change the pronunciation of things when they shorten it and it gets garbled up. Who knows? Shut the fuck up. The stimmy checks are back in the form of a DOGE dividend. All right. So that's a $5,000 check, potentially. It's being floated out there for everybody. Every American, should be every taxpayer, but every American, a $5,000 check. And it's 20, I think it's based on 20% of the savings. Is that correct? Right?
Yep.
Kind of sounds like bullshit, to be honest.
And what do you mean?
Well, give me all of the money back. You're saying that it's fraud and waste. Why are you only giving me a fifth of it back?
Well, no, he's giving 20%, which is a fifth.
Yeah. And you're saying you've been advertising this as fraud and waste. When a fraud happens, you're supposed to make me whole, not make me 1/5. This is not a 1/5 compromise.
He came up with some sort of formula. So a certain amount is going to pay down the debt. I don't know if it's the other 50% because it was 20% back to the taxpayers, 20% somewhere. And then I don't know if the other 60% was to pay down the debt or if the other 20% was to pay down the debt. I don't know.
I do not give a fuck about the U.S. debt. It's too high. It's never going to be paid down. We're going to have to default and the American dollar is going to come crashing down. That's going to happen.
I'm with you. I don't care about it either.
My debt. Not that I have a lot of debt. I want my debt to be paid down from this fraud. It's fraud. Give me this is. I think there's plenty of legal precedent. You're a legal eagle, right, Michael? There's legal precedent here. If fraud is committed, you make that person whole. You don't make them 1/5.
You're such a hater.
Seriously?
What are you talking about, dude?
Oh,
they're proposing.
Your $5,000 is going to be printed. It's going to be. It's not. This is bullshit.
Let's get to the numbers. In a second. But the concept of cutting government waste, fraud, and abuse that was going to Mitch McConnell's pocket and Stacey Abrams' pocket and Kamala Harris's pocket and putting part of that into your pocket, and you're upset.
Listen, you don't talk about the. Governor.
Let's go. You want to generate a? No, I'm going to mute you now. You want to?
Don't talk about the governor of Georgia like that. Stacey Abrams, she deserves that money. All right.
I told you.
But you're a hater. So yes, I would love for it to be 100%, but you want to generate a bunch of buzz and support for DOGE. You want to see Trump's approval rating go above 60, 65, start sending checks based on the money they're wasting to all Americans. Now,
okay,
$5,000 a person. Damn, they're going to have to find a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. A lot. But hey, go for it. I'll take the $5,000 check. Would I like it to be a $20,000 check? Sure. But will I take the 5 happily with a smile on my face and cheer on Elon Musk and Trump as they do the DOGE thing? Heck yeah. You hater.
You idiot.
You're going to cheer them on as they jip you. You're going to say, yeah, woohoo, Daddy Trump got to 65%. Woo! As they jip you.
They're the government.
I agree with you. If they send me a $5,000 check, the first thing I'm going to do is deposit it into my bank account. I'm not going to be upset about $5,000.
Buy some Bitcoin.
Well, you better cash it first because that thing might bounce if you try to deposit it.
Damn straight. It won't bounce if I cash it though, for some reason, only when I deposit it. That's
because
weird.
They might not have the money later, but
that's weird. Anyhow, that's not what bouncing is. And then
yes, it is.
If I deposit it into my bank account, then they don't have the money later. How is that a bounce?
If before the check clears your bank and their bank, the check's going to bounce.
Okay. In any rate, what am I going to do? Go to a fucking pawn shop and cash that shit?
Yes.
No. Then I get less than a fifth of what I'm owed.
Okay. Well, you're complaining already. So what's the difference?
But on the other. Well, I can continue to let you guys fight with each other, or I can change the subject. On the debt question, if they're going to start to deal with the debt, it reduces the need to inflate the currency to make the debt less substantial. So if you don't like inflation, you want them to take some of that savings and put it towards buying down the debt. Yeah, Musk and Trump and all those guys got to take their little piece of the pie that they get for finding the fraud, the waste, fraud, and abuse, which is going to plug the hole in the $2 trillion federal deficit that's happening right now. That's going to plug the hole. But hey, I want the stimmy checks. Let's go. Send me $5,000, Musk. I'm all for it. I'll take Brad's gypped check as well because he didn't want it.
No one says that I don't want it. What I'm saying is that all right, Trump's approval ratings go to 60%, 65%. Woohoo! It stays there for a week, and then who gives a fuck? Imagine how many extra points he'd get if they gave us 25,000.
I just don't. I agree. I agree with the ideal situation. That's not gonna. It's not happening. And
do
also,
I get checks for my kids too?
I don't know.
They LGBTQIA plus to the world in their name too, so they need money.
Yeah.
Well, the check should only go to people above 18 years old.
The checks should only go to people above 18 years old. I think if you're going to do that, then it should be only taxpayers.
I'm fine with that too.
And people that didn't pay income tax, they don't get a stimmy. Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't who doesn't pay income tax. I mean, who doesn't pay income tax? You mean like illegal immigrants?
I mean, I think illegal immigrants, if there's any left, Donald Trump.
People that don't have jobs, the lowest income brackets don't actually pay income taxes. They get a return back that kind of makes them whole. So are you saying that people who don't cut a check to the government
people that are paying the government and not getting made whole again through refunds or whatever the bullshit, those are the people that should get the money.
I mean, does anybody ever really get made whole through a refund?
Well, Michael's over here sending a 1/5 return, so no, people don't get made whole, and they're not going to be made whole in this situation.
Do you know how much money I pay to the fucking government in taxes? Would I like all that money? Would I like 20 grand? Yes, but I'm not going to shit on 5 grand. Sorry, not going to happen.
I mean,
yeah, Mike's got the right idea. I don't know why you sit here and complain about $5,000 that somebody wants to hand over to you that you wouldn't have gotten.
At what point would you complain if it's $1 million, but they only give you 5?
Yeah, I'd probably complain under that circumstance.
$1,000?
What?
Yeah, but
100. No, hold on. We're gonna go through this until we find the number. 100,000.
Would I complain if I was getting $5,000 check and what?
Instead of $100,000 that you're owed.
How am I owed $100,000?
The same reason you're owed $25,000 in this other scenario. So
you're saying if they give me 5% of the savings, would I be mad? Probably.
Okay, so $50,000.
10% of the savings, maybe.
Okay, so I'm
a little bit more like, okay, 10% of the savings is going back to taxpayers.
Mike,
no, we're speculating.
Close to the line already.
Huh?
You're getting pretty close to the line already because what is it, 25 and Brad's already at 50, so you're about to be complaining.
No, he's saying it. No, he's saying if the total savings per person was 50 and they were only giving me 5, so 10% of the savings was going back to taxpayers, would I still be mad?
Right now it's what, 25 and we're getting 5?
Yeah,
20.
You're fine with it. You're like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the distance between the two of those isn't that.
I know.
Great.
So
True.
If it's like 30,000, then you start complaining. Is kind of what I'm getting. It's fucking insane. I'm sorry that I think that we deserve the full amount based on principles, but who am I? Whatever.
Just a guy with a microphone.
Go back and put your head under a rock again.
Without Mitch McConnell, I don't think we'll ever hear of Iraq again. So let's see. Michael, I know.
It was a good try, though.
We gotta, every once in a while you have to try.
I